It's almost time. Madonna's new album, Confessions 2, is going to be released on July the 3rd. We're just a few days away from finally listening to this much anticipated album, but the campaign has been amazing with revelations, releases, Easter eggs, anticipations, pieces of a puzzle that are coming together. So Madonna Songbook Podcast is here to give you all the details about the songs that we already know of and some more. So lyrics, sound, collaborators, contents, meanings. Come listen and you'll find out. Hi, and welcome to a new episode of Madonna Songbook, the podcast about Madonna's music, her great songwriting, and producing talent. I am Giulio Mazzoleni, your host. If you like examining Madonna's music away from all the chatter and celebrity gossip, this podcast is for you. And once you're done watching, we can continue the conversation. If you leave your comments, I'll make sure to reply, as I always do. There is so much happening in Madonna's world lately, and as we get very close to the release of the new album, I wanted to put together all the previews and information that she has shared with us, which are really putting us all in a great mood. So let's start today's episode. Without further ado, let's take a journey into Madonna's new songbook. Everybody get up and dance and let the music take control. Okay, we're just a few days away from finally having a new Madonna album in our hands. It's been 7 years since Madame X. Okay, we got the Madame X tour, we got the Celebration tour, but it's been the longest time in Madonna's career between two new albums. Yes, we've had the Finally Enough Love compilation, we had other contents. Obviously, Madonna never stops, but it's so good to be there, to be almost there. And I wanted to discuss the contents of the record and share with you all the knowledge that I found around. As you know, my book, Madonna Songbook, was all about researching everything, every story, every contribution behind all of her songs. I'm so happy to have a new chapter to investigate in, and let's do it together. As I was saying, there's a lot that she has shared with us. It's beautiful that we get to this album release already having seen a lot of elements coming together. She's giving us anticipations, Easter eggs, performances, that amazing show in Times Square, videos, the Confession movie. Everything is giving us revelations about the contents of this album. But everything started at the end of the Celebration tour, when Madonna went into the studio with Stuart Price, with whom she had made Confessions on a Dance Floor in 2005, and reunited when he coordinated and directed the musical production of the Celebration tour. In the beginning, they were experimenting freely, and then Madonna started adding to the music, her lyrics, her notes. As we know, she keeps a journal. She likes to take quotes from books and movies and puts down her own poetry. And when she goes to the studio, she collates these elements and sometimes has brand new inspiration. This same method that she has used for the past 15 albums. Yes, her studio albums include I'm Breathless, which is a studio album. Sometimes even her official discography forgets that. It's a very good album, actually. Even on the 16th one, Madonna's approach to composing has been confirmed with this method. We've all seen it in the Instagram stories and reels that she has posted ever since September 2024. In the meantime, a lot of trauma happened in the world, political, social, and in Madonna's own life, as she has told in a beautiful interview with Interview magazine, which is available online and will be available on print edition soon. A lot of trauma was happening in her private life as well. Her brother, Christopher Ciccone, got very, very sick and eventually died last year, and so did her stepmother. And there are other things that obviously have influenced Madonna while she was creating in the studio. So that's probably what made her say from the beginning that this project was going to be called Confessions 2. Looking back at Confessions on a Dance Floor, an album that she mostly produced with Stuart Price, although there was Mirwais, there were other collaborators, and wanting to go back to the liberation of dance music, she also had something to confess, stories to tell. And she has already revealed some, and some others we have found out about. So I want to go song by song through the 16 songs track list of the deluxe edition of the album. Now, the album is going to be delivered in continuous mix. That is, as the Confessions on the Dance Floor original album, or You Can Dance, there is no interruption between the songs. The fun thing is that there's a standard edition with 12 songs and a deluxe edition with 16 songs, but it's not just 4 bonus tracks. There's going to be some different mixing probably to enjoy. But let's go song by song and discover more about Confessions on a Dance Floor 2. I'm looking at the track list of this album, and I have to say it's always so exciting before an album is released to read these titles and wonder what they will be about, or let our own feelings project ideas of what these songs are going to be. And sometimes you go like, with a song with this title, I think I'm going to love it. And maybe then you love some other track that you don't expect to surprise you as much. But I'm going to go through the songs title by title. Now, the album opens with I Feel So Free. I've done a special episode about that song. You can listen to that. All I have to say in brief is that we are all enjoying that track. I think it's very, very popular. It was released as a preview of the album, not as an official single, although it's got a fantastic remix by Peggy Gou, and it's so intriguing. And it's a beautiful, beautiful intro. I've said this before. It sounds like a magnificent intro just as much as Drowned Water Substitute for Love was a great introduction to the Ray of Light world. We know that this song interpolates majorly the song French Kiss, and not French Touch, as I said in my previous episode, by Lil Louis, and obviously references Future Lovers. There's a collaboration with Arca, the great remixer and producer, who's also believed to be present in other songs. I think that majorly Madonna has worked this album with Stuart Price, and then they were, as I understand from some interviews that have been released, going out to other producers, asking them if they wanted to do overdubs and complete the production or bring in a new sound before the songs were finalized. I think this gives a lot of integrity to the album, which is something that Madonna has often suffered by working with too many producers. As a matter of fact, I remember her being very, very proud when she made American Life from beginning to end just with Mirwais, or when she said in other occasions that she doesn't want to go through the insanity of having to work with too many collaborators. But back to I Feel So Free, kind of like being the bridge between Confessions 1 and 2 with these sonic similarities, I think there's a beautiful quote from Madonna's interview with Interview Magazine where she explained that she associates moods to her albums, and that Confessions on a Dance Floor represent the mood that she felt when she was a teenager, feeling an outcast and having to dance by herself in clubs, not feeling connected, but having the liberation of music setting her free and allowing her to create a new persona following the inspiration of her myth at the time, David Bowie, which was the first artist that she ever saw in concert. The second song on the record is Good for the Soul. Now, we've heard little clips of the song in the Confessions 2 movie, and we have previews available on social media for contents, which again, I think it's a fantastic way to create a vibe around Madonna's album. And the vibe around this one is really, really positive, and it's really beautiful. What I can say about this song is that I really like that drum and bass beat that it has in the verse, and then the use of the organ, which I think makes a kind of a religious connection, just like a prayer being the juxtaposition or the parallel between sexual ecstasy and religious ecstasy. This song is about the spirituality of being in the dance floor. So putting together two things that seem extreme, and it has kind of like like a prayer feeling of being in the mood. And as she says at the beginning of the song, everything begins with consciousness. So there's a kind of like intellectual side of this album and a physical side by working it out on the dance floor. And I think it's a beautiful connection. Looking at the lyrics here with this song, there's a kind of connection to songs like, again, Future Lovers and Let It Will Be as well, because there's this mystical atmosphere traveling through space and time, interstellar helix unwind. Don't forsake or the love will die. Don't forget your love or right. On the spiral light, we fly, we will be one, we will be divine. All the spirits, they all intertwine. Don't forget that it's good for the soul to let down your hair and breathe in the air. 'Cause up in the sky, 1,000 birds fly. The ones that you love will keep you above, so you just dance in the rain, no need to explain. It's really a religious experience of dancing, and that is what Madonna is putting us through as an introduction to her new chapter. And that continues with the following song, One Step Away, which is about being one step away from your freedom, from the heartbeat of someone on the dance floor. And there's a beautiful political invitation that Madonna makes. I'm feeling your silence and your drama deep inside. We are all waiting for that freedom. Don't wait, take it. Take your freedom. So here's her political manifesto. Madonna has always been up for the minorities, whether they are the LGBTQ communities, women, all the races and religions. And in this campaign, she's obviously pushing a lot in the help for the trans community, which is the most suffering minority of all minorities, I should say. And it's very clear that she's putting together the liberation and the spiritual personal senses into the connection of a community that is fighting for a common cause. And that is everything that she has been doing for many, many years. I would say since Ray of Light, since her spiritual awakening, but even before, because with Truth or Dare, with Blonde Ambition, with a lot of her shows and songs, she has been pushing the envelope of protecting and fighting next to minorities. So this is a perfect trilogy to start the album, setting the mood, proclaiming a manifesto, inviting people to let go on the dance floor. But let's find out about the other songs. Track number 4 on Madonna's new album Confessions 2 is the duet with Sabrina Carpenter, Bring Your Love. There is a special episode dedicated to that song, and ever since that episode has come out, there has been new updates. Madonna has delivered a whole video dedicated to that song right when we didn't expect it would come. Obviously, it's an expanded version of what we see in the fantastic Confessions 2 movie. Sabrina Carpenter has completely disappeared. You may have noticed she's completely off radar. She hasn't done anything in the past 6 to 7 weeks, not even posting on social media, although she has shared a post with Madonna announcing the release of the video a few days ago. There are stories around the fact that she may be in trouble with a stalker that is putting her own safety in danger, and we hope and pray that everything will be solved soon, because that is really nasty and scary. She certainly doesn't deserve that. Nobody deserves that, but she's such a sweet and talented artist. Madonna has released remixes of this song with Oni Dijon and Stuart Price, including a solo version that a lot of the fans have appreciated, the same that Madonna performed in Times Square. And track number 5 is Danceteria. Now, everybody is loving this one. We have seen a major portion of the Confessions 2 movie dedicated to this song. It's the beautiful scene in the bathroom. It depicts what the song is about. And it tells the story of Madonna going out clubbing at Danceteria, the legendary club where she found a connection with Warner Music and got her first record deal. But this is about her passing on her demo with everybody, and Ain't No Big Deal, because that was the first song that got played in the club by DJ Mark Kamins. But it's also about finding long-time friends. Martin Bourgoin, who unfortunately died in 1986, and who was a very, very close pal of Madonna's, and Debbie Mazar, who's her longest running friend ever since 1982, and we always see them around, and she's in the video together with Madonna in that scene. This song is thrilling everyone, I think, for a fantastic series of top lines. It's not just one melody, there's many, and throughout the songs that we've heard so far, you can understand that Madonna has been writing and recording these songs with Stuart Price in a very modern way. That is, with short verses or long verses with chord changes, taglines, multiple choruses, or different melodic turns that are really intriguing and make the song enjoyable in these fast-paced times. I personally don't like the fact that in concerts now people make their song last 2 minutes. It's all very condensed, but that's how music is being consumed nowadays. What I really enjoy is that we've seen that some songs on this record, for instance, I Feel So Free, are over 5 minutes long. And that's the way I like it. Just like Madonna's first album, which had 8 songs, and most of them were above the 5 minutes limit, even 6. Like full extended versions. I think Danceteria is one of those, because Stuart Price has revealed that Madonna has written in a flow overnight a long story of about 6 pages that she recited in the song between all these melodic turns, telling the story of her early days. Now, even in Interview magazine, she has told this story in plenty details. We have to consider that in this record, Madonna puts a lot of her research and writing efforts for her biopic movie that hasn't happened yet, maybe will never happen, might be happening as a TV series. She did a lot of research. We've seen her put that effort into the Celebration tour, and there are a lot of those stories even in this record. And maybe they're a bit, not strictly real. There's a bit of narration. She's totally free to do that. It's her life. It's the way she wants to tell her story. We have to be okay with that. I mean, she decides what is true and what is not. But back to the song, I think it's going to be very exciting to hear the full version. Everybody's engaged by this and the connection with everybody. It's very interesting to read in the credits that Madonna has collaborated with Andrew Watt and Circuit, 2 amazing producers. Both have been having and enjoying great chart hits. Andrew Watt with Dua Lipa, with Post Malone, Circuit with Katy Perry, Britney Spears, and he even did Vulgar with Sam Smith and Madonna a couple of years ago. But the 2 of them together have been responsible for most part of the Mayhem album by Lady Gaga, the one with Abracadabra that was released a year ago. They're present in every single track of that album by Lady Gaga, just like Stuart Price is present in every track of this album. I think they nicely contributed. I think Stuart Price has already said that he had this cut, this track that I had submitted, and I think that guitar, that kind of like rock guitar adding on top of a dance beat, is making the song really, really special, obviously, next to Madonna's beautiful melodic invention. But there's an additional writer to that song listed in the credits, and that is Lou Reed. Now, obviously, he's gone. He hasn't written with Madonna. It would have been nice to see them collaborate. But obviously, this is about an interpolation. There's a bit of Walk on the Wild Side, probably Lou Reed's most popular song that Madonna sings in Danceteria. And it's quite interesting because I think it connects to what she was listening at the time when she was hanging out at Danceteria in 1982. The dates align, and it's pretty interesting what she's done. I can't wait to listen to the whole song because, the video has a lot of special effects and sounds and bits and pieces. I really want to enjoy this one. I think everyone is up for this one, but you never know about the other titles that are in the record. For instance, the following track, Read My Lips, is something we didn't expect on a dance record, and that is Madonna's new experimentation with reggaeton. Now a lot of Madonna fans are not too enthusiastic about her collaboration with Maluma, for example, or Quavo on Future. But I think the mood with everyone is very positive, and I think this will be more welcomed by people. The pieces and little bits that we've heard in the Confessions 2 movie of Read My Lips have revealed that she has a featured artist, which is Feid, the Colombian rapper, producer, and songwriter who has collaborated with Bad Bunny, with Maluma himself, with J Balvin, and I did know him for a great song called Perro Negro. He's present in this song and has Madonna even saying a few words in Spanish. But what's really intriguing about this song, in my opinion, next to the beautiful scene of the movie, is that there's a lot of heavy drums in this song, something that may remind you of the way Madonna did Express Yourself and Give Me All Your Love in the MDNA tour. So there's marching bands drums, and this is really strong. And again, she has a few good intuitions with melody in the samples that we've heard of that song. So I look forward to that. Next to Feid, also credited in the songs is close collaborator Tiny from Puerto Rico, and he's famous for having done records with Janet Jackson and Jennifer Lopez as well. So I'm really interested in listening to this one. We don't know anything at all about Everything, which is track number 7 on the album, and it's good to have a few surprises, right? When we're going to put in the CD or put on the LP on the turntable or press play on our phones. It's good. I don't think it would be fair to know everything before the album comes out. And I know a lot of people want to be spoiler free. Well, in this case, Madonna is warning us a lot, and I really love this campaign because it's giving us a lot. When it was announced that she was going to release the album on July the 3rd, and she already put out Bring Your Love or put it on stage at Coachella back in April, people were thinking, what's going to happen through this campaign? Attention will die. Well, it's been escalating. Every day there's something happening in Madonna's world, whether it's new photos, announcements of new campaigns, remixes, collaborations, performances, appearances, all the club gigs that she's doing. This is really amazing. Moving on with other titles from the album, track number 8 is Love Sensation. Now, Madonna has recently released this song, and it's fantastic. We're all loving it, aren't we? It's like the get-together of this album. It has all these vibe of dance music from the early 2000s, Daft Punk. There is so much in that song sound-wise, but even with a beautiful melody, there's a kind of similarity in some points with Bring Your Love, but it also has beautiful turns. I love the way that Madonna's voice starts very low on this song, but it's also enigmatic in what she's saying because it sounds like a declaration of love, as it obviously is. She even said that it's the most joyful song on the album, probably the one that is mostly careless and carefree. But again, I'm sure that we have learned to see that there is always a subtext in Madonna's songs. I cannot give it for guaranteed, but obviously when she says there's nothing that we cannot do, there's again a reference to her political manifesto about the safety in numbers, about being a community, being united, and going to get what we want, our freedom. So again, this song, I think it's really beautiful. I love the way she performed it in Times Square, and it's going to be thrilling to hear how it combines with the rest of the records, considering that this is one of the bonus tracks of the deluxe edition, so you will not hear it on the standard edition of the album. The next title in the sequence is Love Without Words. We don't know anything about this one. I think this is a beautiful title. It could even be a ballad title, but as we know, there is no down tempo on this record, and I think it's going to be quite strong because it's caught in between Love Sensation and Bizarre. Now, Madonna has not officially released anything about this song, but obviously she has authorized the co-producer, the amazing, amazing DJ and producer and songwriter Martin Garrix, previewing the song on his third night at Madison Square Garden in New York. Recently, he played that song in full, and some people filmed it and caught it, and we've been listening to it in a not so technically good way, but it comes across as a thrilling and powerful dance song. The way it starts super soft and nice, but then it kicks in with an amazing banger of a chorus. I think it's going to be one of the best songs on the album. Now, there's something very interesting in the lyrics, because Madonna says, movie star, deep blue eyes, in Hollywood were a perfect prize. He drove way too fast, Shelby Cobra wasn't meant to last. People who are careful may remember that Madonna was connected to a movie star with deep blue eyes, and her wedding gift was a Shelby Cobra. Yes, it's Sean Penn. So again, you see that Madonna's work on her biopic probably brought out her interested in revealing a little bit of the stories that she had in mind for that movie. And this song, or at least this verse of Bizarre, is connected to Sean Penn and her love for him. And it's so beautiful and relatable for all of us to hear a chorus that says, only love can be so bizarre. Who knew love could be so bizarre? It's very simple. But, you know, we all go through some relationship that becomes so strange and so unexpected, and you don't know how to handle them, and whether they're too big or they're too complicated. And again, going on the dance floor and sweating out all the tension or the negativity or the positive memories of that experience is the beautiful gift that Madonna is giving us with this record. There are more titles in the track list that we don't know much about so far, and one of them is School, which is quite an interesting title. But then we have a song titled Fragile, and Madonna has been revealing about it a few months ago, back in September, when she did the Jay Shetty podcast, and she revealed how this song is about her brother Christopher Ciccone, whom we all know she was very, very close to for many, many years, and they drifted apart, especially when she married Guy Ritchie. There were tensions in the fact she went to London and he felt very distant, and they stopped working together. And then he wrote a memoir that obviously revealed things Madonna was not going to be happy about, and that made them even more distant in 2008, I believe. And they never got to be as close as they were, Madonna recently revealed, but she was with him and she helped him when he fell ill and got cancer and died last year. So this song is about him and the memories of him. And there's a lyric that says, don't forget about me, don't forget to be happy. Now Madonna has confirmed that that is supposed to be her brother's voice speaking to her. She says that she dreams a lot about him, and the amazing information that she has given us through Interview Magazine is that there's a featured artist on that song, and that is the Belgian extraordinaire star Stromae. I can't wait to listen to this. I think he's one of the most talented artists of this generation, and with such an intense and personal song and his contribution, we all know that he's quite theatrical and honest, and a lot of his songs are about relationship, just like Madonna. So I think this collaboration is going to be memorable. And by the way, there's another quote that says, I was not lost, I was just broken. And Madonna has explained it's about people trying to take her down. I think this definitely connects to a Madame X song called Extreme Occident, where she was saying, I guess I'm lost. I had to pay the handsome cost. The thing that hurt me most is that I wasn't lost. So it's about, once again, being affected by people's influences and sometimes even losing your own balance, but then finding it again and protecting it. We will find out when the record comes out. The next song is called My Sins Are My Savior. Now, between My Sins Are My Savior, Betrayal, and The Test, these three titles, we know that one of these has been co-written by Madonna with Lola, her daughter. This is the first time that they write together. Now Lola is launching her singing career. She has released a few projects, but recently she kind of seems to have found a focus and she has done beautiful things. There was a collaboration, and some posts that Lola did in the past suggest that maybe as a child she was involved as a co-writer of the song Cool Song, which in its original form, before it was a dance song as a bonus track on the Celebration album, was meant to be a folk song for the American Life album. Now, in this case, they properly collaborated. And it's quite interesting that Madonna said in Interview Magazine that Lola approached her to write this song to heal their relationship. Now, we don't know if they had a fallout, but whatever it is, which might be even too personal to reveal, it's beautiful to see that they found a way to reconcile, especially by creating art together. And finally, the last track on the deluxe edition of the album is the LES Girl, Lower East Side Girl. Lower East Side is where Madonna lived back in the early 80s, again, at that very fundamental time that shaped all of her life when she was struggling to make a living, that she was coming through with single by single a few elements that would cement her reputation in the downtown New York culture and community. And I can't wait to hear this because, again, I think it's going to be very, very personal. She has revealed that there's a boyfriend hinted at in the song. She refuses to name the person, but if you have read a few biographies and know about this, it's probably a guy called Norris Burrow, who was Madonna's boyfriend for a while. Madonna has said on Interview Magazine that she was as hot as Marlon Brando, and he revealed in his book that Madonna used to say that he had a Marlon Brando body. Whatever this person is, or whoever it may be, the interesting thing is that Madonna said that it's the winding down track, in a way like It or Not was for Confessions on the Dance Floor. The album is 1 hour and 5 minutes long. Madonna says that her workout sessions every morning are about 1 hour long, and she likes to listen to this album, and she does the stretching at the end. She comes down at the end of the session when LES Girl comes up and she cries. So I think it's going to be very emotional, and I can't wait to hear this one. It's one of those I anticipate the most. But there's two more titles we can talk about, or at least we know something about. One of them is called What Will Save Me. Madonna has oddly revealed the existence of this song that she has made with Stuart Price and Arca, again, the same collaborator of I Feel So Free, because she says that that song has the specific meaning of the whole record about being saved from getting out on the dance floor and letting go of the frustrations of life and feeling connected to a community. And that sense of community saves you. Now, we don't know whether this song will come out in some shape or form as a bonus track, probably maybe later editions of the album repacks, or will be dropped as a bonus single. You know, things have really changed in the past few years. And it's, for example, it's very sad that life cycles for albums are very short, even with successful albums. Take it like Harry Styles, uh, or big names, or even Bruno Mars. You know, you see them putting out these great records, and in a few weeks, everything, the conversation is already over. Now, great fans may be listening to them for a long, long time, but in the public discourse, there's no single, there's no video that will keep the attention up, and everything moves very fast. So maybe even Madonna will adapt to this new pace, and maybe by the end of the summer we will have a new song, or maybe for Christmas we will have a repack. We don't know, but I'm inclined to think that she has some aces up her sleeve, and this might be one of them, just as much as another song that she has revealed about in the Jetty podcast, which was called Forgive Yourself. Now, you never know that that song might have changed a title and might already be featured in the record. It could be School, it could be My Sins Are My Savior, it could be Love Without Words. Who knows? We will find out when the record comes out. And if it's not there, then we know that we have another song to wait for and hope that gets released. Okay, this is what we know about the record. We also know, obviously, that there's a huge list of physical formats that Madonna has put together, including a cassette, which is exciting, a standard edition CD, double CD editions, vinyl, double vinyls, picture discs. There's a lot of brand collaborations, and it's very smart of Madonna because this is where the funding for these projects come from. So her collaborations with Absolute Vodka, with Kiko Makeup, with Grindr, with Build, they're making this campaign happen. And I think it's quite original the way Madonna is approaching these collaborations. So kudos to her management. And if you want to collect all of these editions, I think we're at number 18. I think we are done for a while. Good luck. I can say for sure that only 2 or 3 editions have gone sold out. So if you want to look out for the other formats, different covers, different colors of vinyls, do enjoy collecting. It's really beautiful. You can see some of my collection behind me. I think it's really beautiful. Maybe 18 are too much. I will see when I receive them and decide. But one thing about, again, about the album that I want to bring to your attention, or to Madonna's mindset with this record, comes from the Interview magazine. I will read the question that Mel Ottenberg asked her. Are you more attuned to your creative past now? Like it makes sense to go back to make something new? You know, about the subject of revisiting her life and the script that she had written and turning that into new songs. And Madonna says, to go back, but also to do it how I want to do it, not the way I think my audience wants to hear all those old songs. I want to fuck it up. You know what I mean? I want to do those old songs and do them in a completely different way, or I want to examine their deep meaning. And I think this brings up the subject of expectations. You know, it's impossible not to have any, but at the same time, if you try to put your expectations aside, your heart is more open to listening to what an artist has to say. I really hate, it really gets to my nerves when people say, Madonna should. Whatever they say, Madonna should ace gracefully. Madonna should make a record with Patrick Leonard. Madonna should do this, Madonna should do that. You never tell an artist what they should do. And if you do say it, you don't understand them. You might say, I wish she did this, but she's not up to giving us what she thinks we are expecting. It's very clear. She likes breaking expectations. She likes confusing us. She has so many times. She has done things with her voice, with her repertoire, with the people she's worked with. And I'm just talking about the music, the looks, whatever. It's about the surprise. It's about the revolution. It's about changing things up. And that's what I really like about Madonna. So let's not say what Madonna should or shouldn't do. Ever, 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 ever. I'm just kidding. That's it for now. I'm putting out this podcast right after Tempegate, but lately Madonna has been giving us so many surprises and sharing new songs and remixes and appearances that you may already know new things about Confessions 2 by the time you listen to this. If you do, let me know in the comments. When the album comes out, I'll be diving into it with time. I want to take a while to soak up the whole record and metabolize the songs, leave the excitement. And a personal note, on top of that, I will be on a summer holiday for 2 weeks with my husband. So we will take some time before I come back with a new episode. But rest assured that I will give you more stories and more juicy details on Madonna's new songs. Actually, let's discuss it in the meantime. Send me messages, send me notes. By the way, I suggest you take a moment to subscribe to this podcast so you get notified when the new episode will come out. In the meantime, enjoy Confessions 2. Thankfully, we finally have Madonna's new album. Let's keep talking of Madonna's music. Let the music take control. Ciao.